Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for another random Blu-ray review. Yes, a couple of days ago, while going through the tubs of Blu-rays for my complete Blu-ray collection, I picked out a couple of movies that maybe I haven't seen that I wanted to see, or ones that I haven't seen in a very long time. So I decided to go back, way back, to Steven Spielberg's very first film, Duel. That's right. The last time I saw this, I think I was in secondary school. Yeah, I know, that long ago. And I only ever saw it on TV. And this has been digitally remastered, fully restored. So be interesting to see what kind of quality the Blu-ray is. So I'll give you a little review after the film. But yeah, let's go watch a bit of Spielberg.
It's got a been licensed as a private use of material. The whole pile of this material, including adapting, copy and issue, authorised lending, public performance, $302,500. Holy moly.
Okay, so Duel, yes, Steven Spielberg's first full-length film. Really, all you need to know is what it says on the back. A travelling salesman played by Dennis Weaver. We used to have a shop in Dover called Dennis Weaver, stationery shop, who plays David Mann. He's harassed on this cross-country car journey by this huge 40-ton lorry. This is like a juggernaut of a lorry, dirty, rusty, and it's for no reason. You know, he hasn't cut him up in the road, he hasn't given him the seagull. Just on this journey, this lorry decides, I'm gonna mess about with this chap. Yes, Dennis Weaver in his lovely candy apple red Plymouth Valiant. Yes, which looks very new at the start, not so much at the end. So it is really a case of cat and mouse chase. This actually kind of in a way was remade by Spielberg later on into Jaws. It's pretty much the same type of film, whereas this chap is being chased by this massive lorry. In Jaws, they're being chased by a massive shark. There's lots of tension along the road. There's lots of paranoia as well on Dennis Weaver's part, where he goes into this cafe, narrowly escaping, you know, an attack by this menacing lorry. And he's kind of thinking, who is this? Who's the driver? The lorry is parked outside the cafe. All of these guys are all lined up on the bar, drinking away. And it's paranoia because he's thinking to himself. He's talking in his head and we hear what he's thinking. You know, the camera pans down to look at their clothing, look at their boots. And it's trying to piece together who this driver of this lorry is. We don't really see the driver apart from a few odds and ends. You know, we'll see an elbow, we'll see a hand come out the window, we'll see his foot as he kicks a tyre. But there is actually one scene that I've never noticed before. When the camera pans across the lorry windscreen, you actually do get to see the driver's face. It's not 100% clear, but I'm sure if you freeze it, you could see who's actually behind the wheel. So yeah, there's lots of exciting twists and turns as he tries to escape this menacing lorry. There's also a scene later on in the film where he also stops again at another roadside gas station, where this crazy old lady with a load of boxes of snakes and stuff to make a phone call to the police, you know, to report this lorry driver that's harassing him and trying to knock him off the road, basically. And I never noticed this gaff before, but when Dennis Weaver steps into the phone booth, if you look on the side of the actual phone itself, you can see a reflection of Steven Spielberg. So it's a great film. It's a great cat and mouse chase through these rocky mountains in America, along these massive, long, windy roads on the edge of cliffs and stuff like that. The end of the film is very satisfying. I'm not going to give it away if you haven't seen the film. There was one scene right at the end of the movie. I'm not going to give it away in case you haven't seen the film. But I'm just wondering, this massive juggernaut of a lorry, I'm wondering if there was actually an escape plan at the last moment. If you've seen the film or if you watch the film, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, really good film. Really good, gripping. Hour and a half. But as it says there, Steven Spielberg's first film, his first feature film. And it was a really great film. And better than I remembered it. So what have we got actually on the special features? We got some bonus features, a conversation with director Steven Spielberg, and the small screen, because I think this originally was maybe a TV movie, if I'm not mistaken. Richard Matheson, the writing of Duel, photograph and poster gallery, and the theatrical trailer, so not bad. I think I picked this up for about £3.99. I think this was about £3.99 in the bargain bin, so bargain. Brilliant. Okay, how is the picture and the sound? Being quite an old film, what are we talking here? I think we must be talking about the 70s, I think. We must be talking about the 70s. On the most part, it's a really good image. It says digitally remastered and fully restored. I've just seen it's 1971, so it's the same age as me, 49 years old. So the picture quality is really good. The colour of the car, bright red, from some of the film, really stands out. The dirty landscapes, you know, with the grass and like the desert, and you can see the dirtiness of this truck, the rust of this truck, and it's a clear image. It's a pretty good, solid image with not a lot of grain. There are a couple of scenes near the beginning of the film that have got quite a bit of grain, but they're mainly like external scenes of mountains or close-ups of Dennis Weaver's face. But there was a couple of close-ups later on which looked fantastic, considering, you know, the age of the film. So this would look incredible in 4K if it was ever released in 4K. The sound is DTS HD Master Audio, which upscaled to Neuro on my system. Really good, clear sound. Lots of use of the surrounds with like pulling of the horn, the lorry horn in the background. And lots of use of the bass as well, mainly from the actual lorry's engine, and as the lorry went past and nearby trains and things like that. So really good use of the actual sound. Also, so far as music is concerned, it really doesn't have a lot of music in the film, which is okay because you don't really need it. It's all about this tension on the road, and you need to hear like the sounds of the car, the sounds of the engine of the lorry, the creaking of the lorry and things like that. That's its own score. But you do get a bit of music, but I would say mainly the film is like 90% no music. So it doesn't really make any difference, because when the music does happen, it's really gripping and kind of edge of your seat music. The film began quite interesting. Could be filmed now. You could do this now, the first 3 or 4 minutes. Basically, all it is dash cam footage for about 4 minutes. which many of us have done on our Blu-ray hunts. So yeah, but all in all, a really great action thriller. Really great. So how would I rate Duel on a scale of 1 to 10? I would actually rate it at 9 big lorries. Yes. 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. And now I need to decide which is worse. Being stuck behind this lorry or being stuck behind the lorry from Final Destination 2 with all the logs on the back. I think whichever one I was stuck behind, I think I'd still poo myself. So hope you enjoyed my review of Steven Spielberg's Duel. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. There will be more random reviews coming up over the next couple of weeks, as well as all the usual stuff as well. So until the next video, get out of the way of lorries.